Okay friends, I'm looking to install a new bushing into this knuckle on my 2002 H6 VDC, and after a few fails, here's my latest version. Here is the old bushing. I'm going to try to install it here on the chamfered side. The other side is not chamfered, and the bushing just so happens to fit in this little adapter in there, so I get nice even pressure on there while at the same time not pushing on the actual bearing inside the bushing. So what I'm going to do, one problem I had was that from the ball joint press, that would have pushed right through the hole on here. So using a combination of items from the adapter set, I'm going to push on the end here, using this to apply even, actually I got that wrong. I'm going to apply on this side, even though it's a little non-traditional. That little ring nicely snugs the small ring on the ball of the ball press, and then this is just kind of a flat mate. This piece from the adapter set, which is the receiving cup, actually has a taper to it, but that doesn't matter because nothing is being pressed there. It's all this flat surface here that's going to be pressing on the bushing. So that's going to go there. The bushing is going to go here. The whole thing is going to go in like that. The one problem that I have is I want to make sure that this connection right here doesn't slip. And as you can see, the this upper ring is just a little smaller. So I'm just going to wrap some tape around that to flush it out, and then put one of these around it just to keep it all secure. It's probably an easier way to do this, but I really want to spend the time to set this up straight. So here goes. Okay, here is a dry fit using the old bushing, just to get a sense of how this is going to work. Something to note is get that sway bar up and out of the way. You don't have to completely remove it, although I was tempted to because I'm going to replace these bushings anyways. But I just really wanted to get this going. So at this point, I feel like I've got pretty decent alignment using the ball press and adapter set. Let's see if I can get some other views on it here. Okay. Taking the advice of somebody on the forum, which God bless the forum. I actually struck the old bushing using the framing hammer, and had much better results than using the rubber mallet, which I was doing thinking I wanted to be gentle, but I was being overly gentle. The only concerns I have about this are that the ball press is just, I'm not using an adapter, so it just took a lot of time to finagle, making sure that this is lining up straight with all of the pressure that's going to be applied. So it'll be worth it in the end, I think. So now I'm gonna take this apart and go get the actual bushing, which is currently in the freezer. I'm gonna clean this out again, grease it all up, go get the actual bushing, and we'll give this a go. We'll give this a go. None of the sides really feel like they want to go in very well. But I can get just enough to stay in there. It's not exactly perfect, but let's see. seems to be just the light. Seems to be going in. It's probably gonna make for a terrible YouTube video, but it's not why I'm doing it. Okay, so now I've completed phase one. The bushing is that little sliver in there. As you can see, it's not, well, it doesn't look completely dialed in, but remember, this cup right here is tapered. So that bushing has actually been going in pretty smooth, but I have two problems now. This cup is gonna hit the housing, as well as the bushing is gonna start hitting this. And this bushing needs to be flush on the inside, or flush to the rear of the vehicle, and it's going to be about an 1/8 or 3/16 proud on the inside there. So I've got to figure out a way to get this a receiving cup on this side and get this cup out of the way, so whatever pushing device I have is going to go flat. But the success of this is that I've got the bushing started and it's aligned, so I no longer have an alignment issue, and I have a much more simple issue of pushing it through. Okay, here we are mid bushing DIY press. It has gone in pretty evenly and straight. I'm not sure which of all the elements helped the most. I think the freezing probably didn't do anything, but a little bit of the anti-seize lubricant, and well, honestly, having the right apparatus and not having a long socket and a long screw is probably what's helping the most. So on to phase two. Okay, here I am ready to try phase two. I think it will work. I don't love it. I mean, here's the bushing, here's the housing. I had to use another one of these, just an unusual use of the pressing plate here. Just flipped it around because the flat side of it connects really nicely to the bushing. The hole receives the metal rod inside the bushing. I don't know what that's called. And so it's pushing just on the bushing housing itself. So I like that. What I don't love is I had to use this long adapter here, just flat up against the housing here, the receiving cup, and there's no connection there, it's just pressure. So we'll see how this goes. I cannot hold the camera and do this at the same time. Stop. For contrast, here's the other side. Not quite finished, but using the socket method that I had. You can see it kind of mangled the edges a little bit. I don't think that's a big deal, but it was definitely not going in exactly straight. And so, as was mentioned on this thread, or on the Subaru thread, it wasn't entirely straight, but it did straighten itself out. But it was a beast to get it in there. I did not use any anti-seize lubricant on this. I just used a little bit of gear oil, and I didn't use the updated version of the press that I have now. So I'm going to finish this one off with my new version.